Hello. Hello, happy Wednesday. How's it going? Welcome in, Turtle. So glad you can make it today. How am I? I am doing really well today. We're having a good day. I got to spend some time in the pool and out in the sun, and that always makes me feel a lot more energized. And I'm like, I really want to go back out there, but I'd probably get burnt. I'm gonna get a little bit of sun. I'm getting a little bit. I'm pretty slow to tan. I don't tan very easily, so we're doing our best to get there. But yeah, glad to be here. How are you doing? So glad to see you. We're gonna do some Minecrafting today, per usual. I need to actually click start recording while I remember. I've been forgetting to do my recordings lately as I've been making these little shorts. So yeah, I forgot to do that. Hopefully we don't need it. We should be fine, but hello, 92, welcome in. How's it going? Turtle, you're sleepy but good. Well, I'm glad you're doing all right, but sleepy is never fun. Unless, I take that back. Sometimes I feel the most alive when I'm like the most sleep deprived. Is that weird? Like, I feel like if I'm extra sleep deprived, it's usually on a day where, like, say I'm going to the airport really early in the morning, going on a trip, and it reminds me of that anytime that is the situation. But not always. We don't like sleepy every day. Wearing the glasses today. I need to get my lashes done. I'm supposed to get them done tomorrow. Look at this. They're gone. All my lashes are gone. So we'll use the little reflection in the glasses to kind of hide that today. It's so bad. But yeah, I'm supposed to get my lashes fixed tomorrow, and I need it. We need it real bad. I'm gonna go ahead and swap to the gaming. Y'all can see my my good old. Let me mute my Discord. You probably heard that noise when it undeafened. Yeah, we're going to be working on a little bit of a workshop area, like a little mini base in the mountain. So I already planned out where, like, what material is going to go where. We've got our new stone and cobblestone storage room. If you guys haven't seen the shorts, go check them out. We did a little walkthrough of how we recorded, or how we went through the process of building these. I haven't moved any materials in yet, but we've got a full storage room here just for stone and cobble. And eventually, I think this is supposed to be tough. And this is going to be a little workspace, so eventually you'll walk in here and, like, you could get to the tough side if you wanted to and just walk all the way through. But yeah, welcome in, Ed. How's it going? Are you actually staying busy today or chill day? Welcome in, everyone, though. But yeah, so we've got these 4 bays here that I have planned to do like a little workshop area, probably more of a normal storage room too for any weird items. Let me check my notes. All I know is I look over, I see "What's good, nerd" from Fern. So welcome in, Fern. How's it going? You say both. Busy, but I don't even remember what I said. All I know is, were you staying busy or chilling? Both. I'm assuming that's what you mean. I've got to remember what I'm actually saying. What connect the rooms to are only accessible from the front? Yes, we're going to connect them just with these little walkways. So I'll probably keep this in the same spot through every room. We'll pass through, and then in theory, you'd be able to cross all the way from one end to the other, just like this, if you wanted to. I feel like that's going to be a little bit more convenient just to have that option if you want it. But what did I have on my list for that storage room? Yeah, so this workshop, I want it to hold, like, random things, collectibles, mob drops, like the transportation, like boats and mine carts, food, ores, redstone, which I kind of think may be its own little section. We may give it, like, a little downstairs basement kind of thing, which could be cool. I had mentioned before that I wanted to have auto crafters for the different redstone components, because I hate crafting them. So we may do something with that, and then animal goods. And I don't think we'll get all of it done today, but we're going to get as much done as possible. But we do need to clear it out. So I think that this is probably just going to be like one open room for now. And I think I'll probably start out by going back about, what, 9 blocks? That's what I did on this side. I think it's going to grow a lot. But once I have some space to, like, work around with, I can see where we need to expand even further. Because I don't think it's going to be just like one big rectangular room. I think we'll have little wings. Because I want to be able to have like a baby smelter, not a super smelter. Every time I say baby smelter, it just sounds wrong. But you know what I mean. Little area to smelt some stuff. And then other mini workshops, maybe a brewing station and everything. Where do we want this to start? So from this wall. Back 9 from here. Right? Yeah, back 9 from here. So starting at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And luckily we do have the haste effect right here. Which is nice. But I will definitely be breaking way too many blocks quite often, because I always do that with haste. Okay. Where is the edge of this? That's the real question. We're gonna have to do this on all sections. Open it all up. But yeah. Hope you guys are all having a good week so far. It's been pretty good for me. Pretty chill. Glad to be streaming today. We weren't able to stream Monday, but we are back today. And glad to be here. Glad to be working on some Minecraft per usual. I think I'm going to keep this like... I don't know. I don't want to make it like the full height as far as like a big opening. I may have to give these like a storefront. It's gotta be super tall. I don't want it to go the entire height of the ceiling. So maybe we go in and set it at like 5 blocks for now. I can mess around with the height later. Let's clear all this in, or fill this in. Yeah, I think we could mess around with height later. And maybe give it like stairs. Have a little bit more interest between upper and lower. I need to change this playlist, this song. This too chill. Let's go back to our normal stream beats for now. I haven't played these in a while. We've been playing a lot of Minecraft music, which I like, but I have heard a lot of C418 in the last couple of weeks. Which we do love C418 soundtrack. I feel like I don't need to go this far back, but I do also want to just get rid of this gravel so I don't have to deal with it later. Honestly, this is a lot of gravel. This is a large pocket. But I'm excited to get working on this. I need a little workshop area because I just keep moving around my stone cutter and everything, and I'll probably continue to do that a little bit, but it'll be nice to have at least a space to briefly store things that I don't have a storage room for yet. And then eventually we will add some storage to them. But I'm thinking, like, I feel like I'm probably missing some other stuff. We probably need, I mentioned brewing. I'll have like an animal area, but what other workspace would I need? I'll probably just have like a lot of job blocks. There's even more gravel down here. More job blocks, maybe an area for like the loom. But I'm sure more will come to mind as we go. I'm really shocked by how much gravel's in here. I feel like I never run into gravel pockets this large, but I also probably just ignore them. I don't actually fill them all in. And we already need more stone. Okay, actually put the torch here or else I'm gonna have problems later. Let me out. I'm not used to keeping my torch in my offhand. I keep on accidentally placing things down. Okay, which one of you has a ton of stone? Let's just grab this. Look at all that. We got 4 stacks of gravel. That seems like an excessive amount of gravel. I don't feel like that's normal, but who am I to judge? Let's put you here. And we'll go fill all that back in. Okay. This really went back pretty deep. Yeah, I think if we need to expand, we'll probably go vertically. So either up or down, whether we do like a basement or something else. And then that way we can not worry about impeding on the storefronts to the left and right. I think that'll be probably our best bet. Make sure that if we do need to expand the other ones backwards, which is quite likely in the future, that we actually have that room, because I don't want to run into some spaces later. But I think it'll be fun to have like all the redstone components on autocrafters. Haven't done a lot with autocrafters yet, so we'll see how that goes. But I hate crafting things that have to do with redstone, especially like, what is it? I'm already out of stone. Oh no, we still have more. Observers, those are really annoying to craft. And then like comparators and repeaters. Those aren't as bad, but I do dread crafting them every time. I always forget the recipe. So that's been a goal for a while that we've mentioned before, was to have those on a quick and easy, just push of a button, pop out a redstone component. Yeah. Where is this stopping? Here. Okay. Feels weird to have to go grab stone right now, because I know that soon enough I'm gonna have way too much in my inventory. Actually, let me rethink what we're doing right now. I definitely want it to be vertical. I haven't planned a way to make the storefront. If I was gonna put a storefront here, I imagined it was just gonna be a big open space. And maybe it still is. I've just gotta think of how we'll show it on this side. Maybe we just use like some structural framing, but I do think it'd be nice to just have this open area that kind of breaks it up from all the other storefronts. Hey G, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're having a good week. I think we'll do that. Let's go ahead and just open this whole thing up. It'll be easier to cover it up and like block things in than it will be to try to remove it later. I think I want to try and get all of it taken care of in one go. So, that being said, how tall are we making this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this level. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The 12 blocks tall in here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One more. Can I do it? Do this. 12. So that'll be top. Okay. We have even more gravel. Somehow. Gravel never ends. Traveling as expected the whole week. You enjoyed? Well, glad to have you here. Glad you enjoyed your travels. Glad they went safely too. Yeah. I went to a little dance. I don't even know if you could call it a party. They called it like a little, it was basically a DJ that played everything that was like Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, Charlie Chappell, all those types of artists. Went to something like that this weekend with a friend, and it was a lot of fun. I don't really do stuff like that very often. I'm glad I got to do something a little different. But overall, my weekend was pretty chill. That's how I like my weekends. If I like have a busy day, like for example, I did that on Saturday. If I have a really busy day, I always feel like I need one extra day to like still chill. It always throws me off. Which most of the time I do that the following weekend. Love the shorts. Thank you. We've been having a lot of fun with them as always. And glad that people have been enjoying them. Trying something a little different, because it can be hard for me to like keep up with documenting the process, especially on bigger projects. And I feel like I'm gonna give shorts a little bit of a try for that situation because it can be a little bit much at times to try and focus on like the large video, knowing I won't finish the project for a couple months. So that's kind of where my head's been at with this. I'm going back to the Minecraft music. There's just something nostalgic about it. Let's do the new update music. This is Lily Pad. Need a whole week to recover from one day of socializing. Yes, you get it. I would consider myself, like, I'm not completely introverted. I definitely am more introverted now than I used to be, but I always considered myself more of an extrovert. Hold on, let me count real quick. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I always considered myself more of an extrovert whenever I was younger and like in grade school. And then at some point, I just kind of started to really enjoy like keeping myself entertained, and definitely COVID amplified that a bit. So like my favorite way to spend my weekend is usually relaxing. I love just floating in the pool. Like I can just do that for hours on my own. And so usually like if I need a day to myself, it's usually gonna be very boring, very relaxed. I'm not like a I need to go places and do things type of person. At least not anymore. I used to be, but yeah. Shout out COVID for changing that. But also like whenever I was in high school, I was always in a lot of extracurriculars, and I feel like whenever I was done with that part of my life, I just wanted to not have to be scheduled 24/7 anymore, if you know what I mean. Those of you who are like in a lot of extracurriculars probably understand. Like I remember whenever I left high school and went to college, I was just like, I don't want to be told where to go and what to wear and at what time and what to do. And that's like why I never joined a sorority or anything, never had any interest in that. It was just because I had just finished an extracurricular where I literally was just always busy, always doing something, and being in that made me just like to have free time to just chill and soak in bed, as my my aunt calls it. Just I don't know, what do we call it? Rotting. I like to rot. Just chill. But yeah, I've kind of always been that way. There we go. I was like, how do I get this placed without accidentally placing a block? And your friends are trying the rock your body trend. That one's really fun. I did like a different version of it, or I was preparing to do another version of it, but I like the one that I ended up doing. So that's the one that made it on the internet. But that trend is really funny. I've seen some pretty funny takes on it. And it was fun to put it in the Minecraft form. Hi Blurry, welcome in. Glad to see you today. Hope you're doing well. Anybody have any fun like plans for 4th of July for those of you in the States who celebrate? Actually, I don't know if any of you guys are in the States, unless Crow's here. Now that I think of it. We have 4th of July coming up next Friday. And I kind of forgot that it was coming up until a couple days ago. Look at all this stone I have, and I now have a storage room for it. We're just going to put it here for now. Or actually, maybe I should put it here. We'll put it there. Everyone is doing fabulous. Right back at you, Blurry. So glad you could be here today. Got off work. That always feels so good. One of the best feelings is leaving. Are you guys like socialize once you're off work for the day, or chill once you're off of work? I'm assuming if you're here, you like chilling, at least in the week. I need to leave this line right here for now, but we can mess with that later. I wasn't really thinking about what I would do if we opened this section up. I don't know if anybody in chat has been watching Love Island, but I've been hooked lately, and it's all over my Instagram feed, and I am living for the drama. This is the first time I've like ever really thoroughly watched a season live, and it seems like it's getting messy, and I'm here for it. But I don't really have good comparison for it. Like I hear a lot of people online have been talking about how they don't enjoy it compared to other seasons, and I'm like, I'm so easy to please. I don't mind. Like, everything to me sounds like it's new and exciting because I haven't been a part of a lot of the previous seasons live. Chiller. Yep, I feel ya. And decompress. No type of person, to be honest. Once you're off work, you don't want to do anything. Yes, you get it. Exactly. Maybe at most, like, I don't know, grab dinner. But that's usually like a once a week max kind of thing for me. Is this first season of Love Island US? This is 7th season. I've never seen the UK version, but my friends who always talked about Love Island in the past always told me that the UK version was better. And I still need to watch it, but yeah, I've only seen, aside from this current season, I've only seen 1.25 seasons maybe. Like I saw one season all the way through, and then a couple years ago I tried to watch it live and I lost interest after like a couple episodes, so didn't watch it. And shot short, it was hilarious. I'm glad you like it. I laugh at it, but I wasn't sure if it hit with other people just because I don't know. I think it's funny the facial expression of the villager. I went and got, what's it called? What's the resource pack? I went and got fresh animations, excuse me, just so that I could have a facial expression on the villager, and I was basically just like holding my camera around a villager trying to get them to like turn their shoulder and look at me for like a solid 20-30 minutes, but I think I finally got a good one. But I do like a goofy little villager animation, and you can't deny that villagers are the equivalent of a man-child. But I really wanted a nitwit, but I couldn't get a nitwit for that short. I feel like nitwits are so rare, but that would have been even better in the context of Sabrina's wise wisdom. That was brand new because all the recent hype about this new season. So I think it's just always been less popular than the UK version. But what I've been seeing was that apparently the previous season, season 6, was really good and people really liked that, and there was a lot of like growth and interest from that season. And so I think that's why this one is getting more hype than usual. But I don't know. I feel like Instagram is like, as soon as you start showing interest in one thing, it's all over your feed, which I mean, that's kind of how the algorithm works. But I did not see very much about it at all until I started watching it. And then I think I probably started watching random reels, and then it would just start recommending everything to me. But it's all over my feed now. Hi, Repler. Welcome in. Welcome in. How's it going? I feel like we're making some good progress on this little area over here. Once we get it open, we can kind of lay out a game plan of where things might go. I really have no idea. A lot of the times I have stuff like somewhat planned out in my mind, but I'm really just gonna go purely for vibes in this little workspace, little micro base. All this cleared out. Oops. be back after coffee break. Well, thank you actually for reminding me. I got a coffee today. It's a tasty one. I went to 7 Brew, for those of you who have tried 7 Brew. Pretty solid. It's more like a dessert coffee for me. I don't like it every day, and I always have to get them half sweet. But this one is a different one I've never tried before. It's the German. I think it's like chocolate or mocha and coconut. Once again, half sweet, and it's plenty sweet. They definitely basically give you like a flavored chocolate milk, or a coffee chocolate milk is what it tastes like to me half the time. Let me see if I have the menu on my phone. I do. I have literally 2 copies of the menu because you have to actually download it to see. It's coconut and caramel mocha. It's pretty good. The coconut seemed fitting for summer. I don't usually get this one, and I don't know. It was the coconut that got me. You like hot coffee? I do like hot coffee to an extent, but I don't ever really drink it that much. I like a hot cappuccinos, really. If I'm getting a hot coffee, that's what I get. But for some reason, hot coffee makes me more tired, if that makes sense. I don't know what it is. I think it just like reminds me of hot chocolate. And whenever I was younger, if I like could not sleep at night, don't know why I started doing this, but if I couldn't sleep at night, I would just drink hot chocolate and it would make me tired. So I think that's why hot coffee always, I think it's so cozy that it just makes me want to like curl up in bed and go to sleep, take a nap, which I don't know why my brain works that way, but that's just kind of how it is. So I typically get cold coffee. I never really got into drinking hot coffee regularly until I was in Italy for a couple of months. And iced coffee, 1, not really common there, but 2, if it is the places that do it are usually more like touristy areas, and they don't do it the way I'm used to. So I didn't really care for it. They did have Cafe Freddo though, which was like a sweetened espresso, I think, if I recall. That was pretty good, but that was like the only authentic cold coffee I would get there. So for a whole 4 months, I was basically just getting like hot cappuccinos every day. That's why I like cappuccinos if it's hot. And I was definitely the kind of person who I knew you're not supposed to, so it's not socially common to drink cappuccinos after like 11 a.m. there. I still did it anyways. It's like, I don't care if I look like an American. I am an American. And I want my cappuccino, my milky coffee at any time of day. Addicted to Jot coffee? I've not heard of that. Concentrate, and it's so good. Do you mix it with anything? Like milk, or you just have the straight up concentrate? I'm assuming it's more like acidic. Like trying all the flavors it tries at 7 Brew. Yeah, they have some good flavors. I usually get a caramel macchiato there. Sometimes I'll get like a blondie, or I'll get one of their seasonal drinks. But most of the time, my go-to at 7 Brew is a caramel macchiato. Today you tried toasted marshmallow and coconut. I need to try that. That sounds good. Toasted marshmallow and caramel coconut. Yeah, I'll have to try that. Because yeah, the coconut has been sounding good at this time of year. I haven't been getting a lot of coffee lately. It's mostly just been the like Bloom Energy. Is it a tea? I don't even think you can consider it a tea. But like the little cans of energy drinks, I like those usually, and I'll drink those like as soon as I wake up. So I haven't been having a lot of coffee. This is like the first coffee I've had in a week or so. But I don't know, it just seemed fitting. Seemed like a good day for it. Cold coffee, yeah, I like cold. With almond milk? Okay. That sounds pretty good. I don't drink too much like almond milk or oat milk anymore. I used to. But I haven't in a while lately. I think part of it is just like, I learned, at least when I make my own coffee, that skim milk is better for frothing. So once I figured that out, I typically, like, if I have my own coffee, it tends to be skim milk. But I just got to the point where I would just get whatever milk they offered at the store. But I did used to really like oat milk. That was always my favorite. So I've mentioned this before, I'll mention it again because I don't know. Basically just saying, if you've heard me say this, you're gonna hear it again, sorry. One thing that I really like to drink in the summer, and it may be good with the concentrate, is, it sounds so weird and people are always hesitant whenever I first mention it, but it's cold brew concentrate or just like an iced coffee, but usually it's like a cold brew, and you mix it with lemonade, and I love doing it. The town I went to college for had it at this coffee shop, and it was called the Chichi Rodriguez. And then the place where I get it, where I live now, it's called an Arnie. I think they called it an Arnie. But basically they're trying to call it like a coffee Arnold Palmer. And it's like one of my favorites. Oh, and the place I would get it here, they also add mint to it, which I never do that whenever I make it myself, but I do like to make those, and it's usually just like I'll get a thing of like Minute Maid sugar-free lemonade, or I'll get like a Splenda, what's it called? Crystal Light packet of lemonade if I'm out of regular lemonade, and I'll mix it in with cold brew. The best one to mix it in with though is like, specifically the Chameleon brand cold brew is good because it's more acidic. I don't really like it with, there are like certain coffees that you can taste, and it's definitely supposed to go with like milk. So like Stoke specifically, I have that one and I've been mixing it lately, but it doesn't taste as good. It's like a more acidic cold brew. But I do like to do that a lot in the summer. I think I've done that on stream a couple times lately. I think we did that. I had that like last Friday or something. I was drinking one. I just like it because it's quick and easy. I literally just have to buy a bottle of cold brew and a bottle of lemonade, and I mix them together. It's like, I always use this cup. Hold on. Stuck to my coaster. I always use this cup to do it. And I go to like here with the cold brew, and then the rest is all lemonade. Good. It's a no from you. I don't blame you. It's definitely an odd mixture, and it's hit or miss on with some people and if they like it. I wouldn't have tried it if like somebody didn't tell me it was good. But the plate, so like I always got it in my college town at this one specific coffee shop, and it was my favorite to get in the summer on a cold or a hot day, because it's just very refreshing. But there's another place there. I didn't like this myself, but there was another coffee shop that would do espresso with orange juice. Not for me. I did not like that one. So whenever I tried that and then somebody mentioned it with lemonade, I was like, no, it's gonna be bad. And then I tried it and I was like, I actually kind of like it. It's not half bad, but yeah, it's definitely not for everybody, and I very much understand that. I've had like both my aunts, I made them try it once. Well, I just told them about it and they're like, ooh, like give me a sip. One of them was like, yes, that's good, make me more. And then the other one was like, no, absolutely not. Like, not for me. But I feel like it's definitely not as good when I make it, because I'm just using like just bottles of coffee and lemonade from the store. But when you get it at the coffee shop and they know how to make it right, pretty solid. Hi G, welcome to the YouTube side. Glad to have you on both sides as always, or even just one. I appreciate it. But glad you all are here with me today. I actually remember to change my notification for once. Shout out Fern last week for telling me when I still had it saying spooky after like a week of not doing the spooky stream. But yeah, I tend to forget that thing a lot. I should just be like other people and leave it the exact same and never change it, but I think it's fun to change. I don't know if any of you guys ever follow like Smallish Beans. Love his YouTube videos, and I follow him on Twitch, but I don't really watch him on Twitch that much. But his new notifications crack me up every time, and I don't know how he comes up with them, but it'll always be something like, hey viewers, be super cool and come watch this and say you're cool, or I can't even try to like come up with one on the spot. It's always so just so unexpected. But they make me laugh every time, and I respect the way he sets up his notifications. You didn't get a new YouTube notification. Yeah, I don't know if YouTube notifications happen. I assume, no, they do. But I don't know. I think you probably have to have notifications turned on for YouTube. I know on my Discord it always says like I uploaded a new video whenever I like schedule a live. I've tried to go in and like differentiate between those settings and figure out how to make it either not show that or have a different message. Cannot figure out the parameters to like make that change. I've gone in there more than one time to try to like figure out how to customize it. I'm a little lost in that sense. So we do typically have just a new upload, beef uploaded new video on YouTube in the Discord every time I just plan or schedule a live. Of Solas Beans and LED Shadow Lady, yes. They are very great at what they do. I am always amazed at how quickly he can like pop out new projects. I know he uses like creative planning for it, but even that like takes time and patience, and I feel like he's very quick with it. Like his current EmoteCraft base is just like massive and very inspiring. But yeah, his Twitch notifications are really funny. I wonder if I still have one on my phone from... He went live, I think, yesterday. Let me see. Oh, no, he did one today. It says, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Psych, you nerd. It's not Christmas. It's Joel, and I'm here to stream. If you ignore this, you are the worst. That was his Twitch notification today. See, like, I don't know how you come up with that. I couldn't. Everyone to do Twitch, YouTube full time? Of course, that'd be awesome. Yeah, that would... It'd be hard to get to that point. But definitely would be fun. At least to get like a full-time income on it. Maybe someday though, if cards align. Stars align, not cards. I just mixed like two different phrases in there, but you can quote me on that one. That'll be my new phrase. I'm like, what is the card phrase that I'm thinking? But I think I'm also thinking of like dealt the right hand. I'm just thinking of all the like poker sayings. What I feel about channel points, I am very much looking forward to having channel points. I do not have them yet. We are not affiliated yet on Twitch, but they recently changed the settings or the requirements, and I'm hopeful we may be able to get it sooner rather than later. Let me see where I'm at. If I even have one. Yeah, so now you have to have 4 days with a specific average viewers. I have one of those 4 days right now. So maybe today we can get 2 of those days. And then I'd be halfway there. But it resets after like 30 days. And that one I got, I think, was last Friday. So I'd have like 30 days from Friday to get 3 more of those. Average you need is usually 3. And I tend to average like 2.8. But lately I feel like I've asked some people to come over from YouTube, and I feel like you guys have been very nice and supportive and have popped over on this side, and so we're getting closer. I'm hopeful that we can make that happen, because yeah, I do really want to do channel points. I think those are so fun. I like seeing what different things people come up with in regards to channel points. And I'm looking forward to like having my own little unique channel point redemptions and like actually figuring out how they work too, because I've seen some people where they will have, I think they limit a certain one. So specifically I've seen somebody do a thing where you can feed their cats treats, and I think they have 3 cats, so they'll limit it to like only 3 redemptions, I'm actually interested to see like the inner workings of that and see if that's actually a thing, and you can like go behind the scenes and add little requirements or whatever that would entail. Ah! Excuse me? I'm out of stone. Sorry for late wish. Happy Wednesday. No need to apologize. Happy Wednesday right back at you. Glad to have you all here. Glad to be live. I think I need a little bit more stone. Hi, Kwaku. How's it going? Happy Wednesday to you as well. I missed an entire level. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, let me get up here and fill this in, and then we gotta remove one other layer. So, question. Do you guys like to have a storage room that has... Like, do you like to live out of a house, or do you like to live out of a cave whenever you make, like, a storage room? What kind of storage room do you like is what I'm asking, I guess. Because, like, a lot of the times my storage room is more just, like, a big opening in a cave in the past, and then this is the first one that I, like, built it into my house. But I'm interested to see, like, what other options people have, because... I feel like there's a lot of ways you could do it. Yeah, I need more scaffolding. I think we just go ahead and get more scaffolding. You like to live in a big house and then build storage below it. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. House. Yeah, it feels like you need like a lot of space to grow with storage rooms. So I think that's why a lot of the times, yeah, I will kind of hide it underground, as I'm kind of doing right now. But my last one in the house, that's the first time I've ever really tried to, like, use different fake furniture pieces as storage. I feel like I got that inspiration kind of from Wax. Wax always builds out of a house and has, like, a lot of barrels with small storage items. So I tried that on this, the most recent, our current storage room, really, where we're about to fly, actually. I need to repair these wings, and I need to repair my pick, so this is probably a good time to do it. This was a basement. Yeah. I love basement. I used to have a basement whenever I was younger. I lived in Wisconsin. And we had a basement there, and I loved it. That was like everybody's designated playroom for their kids. But where I live now, we don't have basements, which is sad. I think the like rock's too hard here to do basements. Where you love to build, yeah. Yeah, if you're doing like a cliffside house too, that definitely allows for more built-in storage. Yeah, I almost always do this though. This is very common. I'll do like all the brewing potion ingredients around the brewing stands. But doing stuff like having storage here, but then also having storage up here, and then storage back here, that's more unusual to like my previous ways of building storage rooms. Usually there's just like one big room where everything resides. And then also in this one, like I have my nether storage in here, all the overflow. This one I've been spanning out a little bit. Oh, I forgot I need to restore my pick, and also I'm checking to see if I have a lot of iron to combine, turn into blocks. Honestly, not bad. Could be worse. I definitely don't have the storage. Didn't plan ahead for this. How are we doing? We have so many iron blocks. It's a good problem to have, though. I don't think I'll be able to fit all the poppies in my inventory to take them back, but I'll take back what I can. Let's do this. Then PvP. Can't say that I have. I'm assuming you just mean like general PvP against players. I don't play a lot of multiplayer, so I'm not usually in a situation where I'm around a lot of people to PvP. But whenever I do play with my friends every now and then, they don't stand a chance. I hope they're here, and I hope they argue with me on that. They don't stand a chance. I'm very, I spend a lot more time on Minecraft than all of my friends do. So, yeah, they don't stand a chance in PvP. Last Friday when we hopped on that server on the Twitch stream, that was, let's see. I don't know if you saw, I had 0 deaths on that server. They definitely tried to get me a couple of times, but I popped a 2 or 3 totems maybe. They never actually fully killed me. Don't tell them that. Hopefully they're not here to hear that, because then they're gonna have a vendetta against me. This in the world. This is just a solo world. There's no server access on it. What am I doing? Pickaxe. We gotta repair it. Also my wings. Oh, until they offer silk touch. Wait, oh, I missed that. Best way to get silk touch. Yeah, I always just reroll librarians. I don't think I have ever gotten a silk touch book in the wild, at least not that I can think of. It's usually one of the easier ones for me to get from the villagers. I think the one I have now I got for like 5 emeralds, and then I traded with them, or what's the word? That's all? Oh. And then I zombified and cured them, and now it's 1. But I feel like anytime I go through all the villager trades to get librarians, I always pass silk touch way too many times. It's easier, I feel like, than some of the others because there's only 1 level of silk touch, whereas if you're trying to get like Unbreaking 3, you may pass up like Unbreaking 1 and 2 way too many times. Oh my, I did not plan for my storage to be this full. Let's see. We still have a lot more repair on our pick, but I'm hopeful this will be enough. I'm gonna table this time, no dice. Yeah, I will sometimes do like the early enchantments in the table, and I feel like I always have the best luck if I do a what's it called? If I go for an Unbreaking 3 enchantment, I have the best luck of getting like a nice combo with Fortune and Silk. So usually if I see that one, I always go for it. The first time I ever enchanted in Minecraft, ever, I got a Fortune 3, Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3 pickaxe. And I didn't know how good I had it. I thought that was just normal. Forgot you were there. You look really cute with your little animations. Yeah, that's very true. I feel like I always have, like, one of the earliest things I like to do these days is set up, well, I can't say earliest because in my last world, I waited a while before I did it. But in this world, it was one of the earliest things, was getting like full librarians, every single one. And I find that if I just go for all of them, I can kind of knock out a lot more quickly. It is a pain to like buy the bookshelves if you don't have a lot of leather. But if you are going through the full list, which I think at the time was like 37, so it's probably 39 now with the mace enchantments. If you go through the full list, you'll like just be knocking them out left and right. Because there's so many times you'll pass up like Infinity or Fire Prot when you're trying to get Mending. But if you just go through and try to get them all as soon as you like have that option available, I feel like it's a lot less painful. Nickname? My nickname is Beef. That's why we put it in our gamer tag. Is that what you call them? I know that's what they call it on Xbox. Is it considered a gamer tag in Minecraft? Just like your username. Gamer name. Sounds weird to say gamer tag. I feel like I haven't heard people say that in a long time. I was not a very big Xbox person, but I do remember hearing my brothers talk about gamer tags. Let's hop up here. Yeah, Magma's a cool nickname. We're stacking it up. There's a lot of work just for me to take down one other level of stone. Excuse me. That's really annoying. Turtle, if you're still here, I don't know how you keep your torches in your offhand. Like I remember you mentioned that before. I keep on accidentally placing them. Pop a like over on YouTube. Thank you. You're awesome. I appreciate you. Which I should mention now. If y'all are on the YouTube side, you want to leave a like on the stream, I would appreciate it. Always helps us out a ton. And helps bring people to the streams. Skill. Yeah. I'm seeing it. I only did this while we were digging, so honestly at this point I should probably just swap it back. But I keep just placing them everywhere. How do I want to do this though? That's the real question. I'm excited to get some planning going on this room. This feels way too small, but I think that's fine. This feels like a waste to place this much scaffolding, but also like that's why scaffolding is awesome, is because it takes no time to take it down. That's all. I'm already out. Okay, well, we're gonna have to break this half and move it over to this other side. Commit to load. Well, welcome back. Once again, I do appreciate you. I do think it's weird how, like, delayed the YouTube side is in comparison. I've heard that comment a couple times that, like, the chats are delayed before you can, like, before I get them. More so than Twitch. Like, I know Twitch is delayed, but I don't understand the difference. Why it's different on each platform. Especially when you can have, like, higher bit rate on YouTube. Or, yeah, YouTube. Hi, Debug. Welcome in. So satisfying to take down. I agree. I love the sound of, like, scaffolding when it's dropping. Very delayed. Yeah, I don't get why. Like, I don't think it's a setting on my end. I know, like, on Twitch, you can do a delay setting if you want. Yeah, it was quick. It's their platform. That makes sense. But it's, like, even on Twitch, I have, like, auto mod features as far as, like, the, different, like, if something comes in that the Twitch thinks is spam, it'll warn me before it comes in. And it'll still pop in, like, way quicker, whereas I don't have any auto mod features on YouTube, so I don't know why they delay it so much. Like, where the buffer's coming from. Welcome to the Twitch side too, Blurry, or Debug. I was reading your chats. Gotcha mixed up with Blurry for a second. What I get for multitasking. Okay, we got this side. I'm gonna take these out. And then we're going to have to move it to the other side. I probably shouldn't take it down, but we'll do it later. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the ceiling, and I feel like we're gonna want to do it pattern. But, yeah, we'll just scaffold up later when we have an idea of, like, where everything's gonna go, because we may add walls. I don't think it's just gonna be this big open space. We're gonna want to, like, section it off. Get the most use out of it. Oops, no, not you. Oh, the store's full. These are going to be my storage rooms. So, like, this is my stone and cobblestone storage, but also, like, we'll store smooth stone and chiseled stone and stone bricks and everything. But anything stone or cobblestone related is going to go in here. This is deep slate. We've got andesite and tuff. And granite and diorite, and it just keeps going on both directions. And if we ever need more room, we can just keep going back into the mountain, which is really nice because this is a very large mountain. But this is more of a workshop area. So like this side and then this side as well. They're going to be a little bit more of like unique. Oh, this one specifically. Yeah, this is gonna be what was my list? So like random items, whether it be like axolotls in a bucket or like fish in a bucket, random things like that. Collectibles. So we'll probably put all of the, what are they called? Sherds. We'll probably put sherds here. And any kind of like, I don't know, the horns that you get from the villager outposts. I like to keep all of those, but I typically consider them like collectibles. We'll probably do mob drops in here. Transportation, so like boats and mine carts and scaffolding. I tend to put those in like transportation section. I'll probably have a little food area, so we may make a little kitchen. And then ores, redstone, and any other animal goods, so like saddles and that stuff. Kind of anything that I couldn't properly make a storefront design for, with the exception of like nature. So I think I'm gonna do for the nature one, I'm gonna give it like a little garden kind of. It's not gonna be like a proper storefront, I don't think. We'll see though. Maybe I make it look like a little greenhouse or something. That'd be cool. What is this? Oh, that's a slab. I'm like, why does it look like that? No quirky storage categories? What do you mean? What's an example? I'm trying to understand your question exactly. I'm trying to think of my other categories I have. I mean, like, what do I have? Armor trims. That will also go in here. Storage category of lit blocks. So I have, it's lit. I have over here lights. We'll probably try to make a storage like storefront out of it, but I'm not sure if I can do that yet. But I do have a section dedicated to lighting. Yeah, and rods, shroom lights, glowstone, all the fun stuff. Hi again, Kwaku. Grief in me. Unacceptable. How could you? I can't imagine the pain it would be like how it would feel to properly get griefed. Luckily, the multiplayer worlds I did play on were either like pretty tame, like not too many people whatever grief, or it was more goofy and that was just kind of like the understanding, or yeah, it was very controlled. I've only played on like 3 multiplayer things really, and never properly was griefed. But I think I would be very sad. I would probably leave. At least if it was in a world. Actually, it depends. Would I leave? Depends on how much I like the server and who did it. Okay, so that's this ceiling. We're gonna take a moment to listen to the scaffolding break. Like, that's what it sounds like to me. That's my best impression of scaffolding. Depending on how bad it was, yeah, true. I remember at some point somebody commented on a video like you should do a 2B2T series. I think is the server that is what it's called. I don't think I can handle that. I think I would be very sad on that server. Like, as soon as somebody either unalived me or stole all my things, I would probably just stop. And anything nice you create, if it just got destroyed, yeah. Not for me. If I dug and my pickaxe breaks, that's happened to me before, but it's been a while. Luckily I have a ton of like backup pickaxes, and I have easy access to all of the different enchants that I'd be fine. I have a ton of like pickaxes from the end that I will use in those kinds of situations, just to like re-enchant. I would most be upset if it was a netherite pickaxe and like I lost the netherite, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Okay, there's this side. We definitely are gonna have to add some more framing, but I'm starting to see the vision now. Seeing this one open on this side, actually, I think is gonna look really nice, just breaking up the long tunnel. So I'm a little excited for how this is gonna look. It may be kind of cool to add like the storefront back here. Make this like a little collaboration area. I don't know. We'll see. I think this is gonna be a good interruption to the long tunnel. Satisfying to watch in Minecraft. I really like well thought out buildings and like plans and redstone, like whenever it works well with like the actual design. And that's kind of, whenever I was watching a lot of Minecraft videos, that's what I wanted to see, and I feel like I didn't see a ton of it, or it just kind of depended on who, and so that was the kind of stuff that I wanted to create and document. Like, one thing that I think my schooling has taught me that isn't always like instinctual in design is just like how to do a good floor plan. And so that's always something I look for, and I think it's very satisfying whenever you have like a farm that works and you can properly move from like the collection area to the storage area to like the like say for example my like skeleton farm. I like the way the levels work and how they interact with one another, as opposed to just like matching a tutorial exactly and doing that. I think that's one thing that like I recognize is not super natural to a lot of people without a lot of like experience in designing floor plans. Like when people come up with ideas on the fly. Yeah, definitely. I like doing that, but it's a lot harder for me to document the process whenever I'm like actively just freehand creating. It's easier for me to stream those just because you probably have noticed or heard me say that I change things a lot and I undo and redo work a lot. And I find that a lot harder for me to like record and document and like have a full circle like representation of that process, because it would just be a lot of me being like, I don't like it, and then I change something and I'm like, it's better, but I don't like this, and it would just be a lot of me going back and forth. But yeah, I like to do that more on streams rather than in my videos. I try to show a little bit of it on the videos, but I think if I did everything on the fly in the videos, it would just be very hard to follow. But then at times I do, like if I'm relying more on a schematic, I feel like all I really can do sometimes is use a time lapse. Told somebody in Minecraft? Not necessarily. I mean, I've last Friday I trapped my friend in a box when he logged out right in front of me, and we added a sign, but that was really all. Like, I don't play enough multiplayer to have a lot of troll moments with other people. I did not mean to break that. I need to put all this stuff somewhere. I have a ton of just like random ores now. Dirt. We'll put you guys over here. yeah, the like lucky thing about my situation is whenever I do play multiplayer with my friends, a lot of them don't know the regular, like the typical tricks that come with like Minecraft trolling. And because they don't watch a lot of Minecraft, they just kind of play with me whenever I ask them to. And so they don't know about like trap chest. And every now and then I'll do something, or I'll make a comment like, oh, you could take the water out of that that drop and somebody's gonna break their ankles. And they're like taking notes as I say these things. They're like, noted, I'm gonna do that to you next time. So I always have to be really hesitant with what I say around them, because I do have an upper hand in that situation where I could troll them if I wanted, and they wouldn't really expect it because they don't know like the common ones to do. Heading out 9-2. Well, sleep so well. Glad you could be here today. Appreciate you stopping by while you could, and get some good rest. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Thanks for chatting it up. Always do appreciate it. Died to lava and did not notice? Can't say that I've died to lava and didn't notice. I've definitely died to lava and noticed, though. Never fun. The worst case where I died to lava was when... Hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. The worst situation where I died to lava was whenever I first started playing and I didn't really understand ender chests that much. And so all my, like... I had just finally gotten shulker boxes, and all my, like, backup gear, which I now keep in an ender chest, like backup enchanted diamond armor and tools, I would just keep in a shulker box on me. And I died to lava in the most uneventful way. Like, I literally just was standing in the lava and didn't realize, like, that I would be fine if I moved. I don't even know what I was doing. I was just being dumb. But anyways, I died to lava and didn't realize that everything in the shulker box was going to burn up to the lava too. So that was very sad. And then I learned that if you have an ender chest and you just keep it in the ender chest, you'll be fine. But I also always... I've had situations where I later on would keep an ender chest on me at all times. And then I would accidentally, like, go on a really long journey and put the ender chest down and forget to pick it back up. And then I'm just, like, stuck in the middle of nowhere without an ender chest or access to it. So that's why I always keep 2 ender chests on me now. We never like to go very long with just 1 ender chest because I have accidentally broken them and been stuck with no thing to help support me. To the end, I have, yes, we've done 6 dragon fights or 7 dragon fights in this world. Let me think. I think it's 7. Where's the dragon? 7. We've done 7 in this world. But yeah, I've defeated the Ender Dragon in Bedrock once. And then I've defeated it in Java on a couple of different worlds. This is probably one of my favorite music discs, apart from Other Side. I like how it just has the switch up from little music box to little waltz. I think this is a waltz. Yeah, this is a waltz. How do I feed the Ender Dragon? Have good armor for sure. And I practiced a lot before I ever did it in survival. And I say that by, like, I had a Bedrock world, and in Bedrock you can easily just, like, make a copy of the world. And so I would make a copy of the world right before I went to the end. And yeah, this is the first time I ever did it. I'd make a copy of the world of me, like, about to jump in the portal. I would go in and try to fight the dragon, and then if it didn't work, I would take the I would, like, go back. How did I do it? I would practice in the copy, and if I died in the copy, I would delete it and then copy the world again and practice again. And then when I finally got to the point where I could do it a handful of times without, like, a problem, then I would do it in my actual world. Because honestly, like, now I just go in and do it. But I knew that first couple times that I needed practice because I had terrible survival skills. And that helped me like get used to it. And the main thing that killed me a lot when I first was practicing, this is getting really loud for me at least. The main thing that was killing me a lot when I first practiced was Dragon's Breath. I didn't really understand how to avoid it, and I would find myself just like standing in it and not realizing it was a problem, and the next thing I know I'm like dead or my health is like all gone. But that definitely helped, and I may be wrong in saying this, but I feel like the dragon fight's harder in Bedrock. Like, it could have just been because that was the first time I had done it and I like was really struggling, but I did it once in Java like a little bit later, one go with a friend, and it was not hard at all, and I feel like it's harder in Java or in Bedrock. There are a couple different things that I think are harder in Bedrock, and that's one of them, along with ocean monuments. Because ocean monuments, you can't take, like, you can't really do invisibility potions in ocean monuments on Bedrock, and you can't drink milk to like get rid of mining fatigue, because at least when I played, the guardian would immediately give you mining fatigue again. Like, there was no cooldown for it. It was just immediate. Died to a baby zombie? I don't think I have. Maybe I have. If I had, it had been a while ago. But that's another thing. I think baby zombies are harder on Java than they are on Bedrock. They never really bothered me a lot on Bedrock, and then I finally started playing. So that's like the reverse. Everything is so different on each game. Like, and you don't really notice it until you get used to one way of playing, and then you try it a different way, and you're like, oh dang, this is not what I signed up for. Okay, let's see. We just take these. Sounds like it's raining out. I like this project because I don't have to sleep. We're just like stuck inside in the best way. I get really annoyed when I work on projects and I have to sleep constantly. Like, I feel like whenever I get into the zone, it feels like I'm sleeping all the time. But no, I feel like I've had pretty good luck with zombies, baby zombies specifically. I'm not vibing with this song. Let's go to the Caves and Cliffs soundtrack. I feel like that one's usually pretty good. I'm gonna bump up the volume again. That last one was just getting too loud. I could barely hear myself talk, and I feel like I just was yelling. Has the Elder Guardian scared me? Yes, many times. I have, like, there was one video I put out a little while ago where it literally jump scared me. And I think that's one of the few things in Minecraft that actually is a jump scare. Without, I don't even know if they intended for it to be that way, but it is, it really does spook me every now and then whenever I'm not expecting it, especially like if you're on a boat going over an ocean monument, you don't realize there's an ocean monument below you. My mouse is literally like this anytime it happens. I just like throw it basically. And I'm not like a super jumpy person either. Especially in real life, I'm not very jumpy. I don't get like super scared by video games, but I do occasionally get jump scared by Minecraft. Like, especially when we did the horror mod pack a couple weeks ago. There were a couple times. It's made it into a couple of shorts where I legit like jumped or screamed, and I'm not typically like that. I don't know, I say that. I feel like I get used to it pretty quickly, at least. Like, I like to play Phasmophobia and Repo, and I do think they kind of scared me in the beginning, so maybe I'm mistaken in saying I'm not jumpy when it comes to games. But after like 1 or 2 times, I'm not jumpy. But yeah, usually when it's brand new, I do get a little spooked. Ocean monuments can be very polarizing, the right word. Sometimes they just they take me by surprise in the worst way. But yeah, I want to say whenever I try to do an ocean monument on Bedrock, I kept watching these like guides on how to do it based on like Java game mechanics, and they did not help on Bedrock at all. Specifically just because you can't do an invisibility potion, they still see you. Unless I just did it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I like took off all my armor and they could still see me. And then yeah, popping a bucket of milk does not stop the mining fatigue for very long. I think I probably drowned when I did it a couple times. Yeah, I'm liking the vibe. I think we're going to have to extend the columns probably. Add another going this way, but we'll see. It depends on if we add walls or not. Killed by a piglin? Trying to think. Definitely not on this world. No. Maybe a zombified piglin though. I could see that being a situation where I hit one on an old world and they got mad at me because I wasn't really expecting them to get mad. See, we may fill up this stone storage just in the process of mining out this entire cave, because we already have so much of it. But like yeah, I think if I did get killed by a piglin, I probably did do something to aggro them. Can't say it was because I didn't do anything. I used to die a lot, like when I played in Bedrock. By the time I got to Java, not so much, but I do know in Java, like on the last world that I played on, I died to the warden once. I know that much. I can't think of another one, but I know there was other situations. Probably like an Enderman a time or two. An Enderman can hit hard, especially if you don't have good, what's it called? Armor. Also, I've died to pillagers. I remember one world I started, I went to a pillager outpost, like, immediately had no armor on, and thought that I could potentially, like, sneakily get through and grab some of their stuff. Yeah, no. It was literally, like, right after I spawned into the world, and I had boated over, like, 1,000 blocks, and I think I just left the stuff there. I just, like, didn't care to even go back. It wasn't worth it. You fill in this stuff with stone. By an Enderman? Yeah, I think so. I would be surprised if I hadn't. Again, that would be in a different world. We had not had any deaths in this world yet. But I would be surprised if I haven't. Like, I feel like I've definitely died to an Enderman in the end before. Doing the dragon fight. I'm pretty sure that was a problem I had a couple of times where I kept aggroing the Enderman whenever I was first practicing. I got to a point where I always had to use a pumpkin head when I would do the dragon fight, but now we just take a water bucket. We've evolved since then. I can barely even see all the stone that's like floating on the surface. I'm trying to like think of what I'm going to do with these different spaces in here. And I'm really not... I don't have any specific direction. My nickname? Beef. We mentioned that earlier. You mentioned yours is Magma. Very cool. But yeah. Nickname from college. Kind of an odd one, but I've always liked it. I always thought it was funny. So we incorporated into our name. I do like the amount of coal that I'm getting from these. I feel like we still need to try to get like a blaze farm because this is not going to last for very long. I feel like I go through coal so quickly. One of those materials that you can just like never have enough of. Or maybe I just need a good old wither farm. Wither skeleton farm. And I'll have an abundance of coal. Alright. We're almost done with this clearing out here. And then, yeah, we want to do a little bit of floor planning. And try to get like an idea of where everything's gonna go. I don't think we're going to get super far into the designing today, but that gives us stuff to do here in other streams. I'm just glad to kind of have this space open and be able to see like how much we have to work with. I think we can make this a lot larger too. I may need to do a little bit of like research on what kinds of spaces I have in mind. Because yeah, this is gonna be like more of an aesthetic storage room rather than like this one. I would still consider aesthetic, but it is very functional too, just because I know we're gonna have a ton of stone and cobblestone and I needed to have a lot of space to work with there. This one I could more so set it up like furniture, almost like the way my house is right now. How much coal do we have? Okay, I'm at the point where I can't even hold this. I should have literally dropped this off while I was in there. My bad. Ugh, I need water. You guys see there's like a new update coming out that they're putting the chicken jockey music disc in? I just saw that like before stream started earlier. Killed by an iron golem? I'm fairly certain I have. I want to say I did in like some random speed run. I was trying to get free iron and didn't plan very well. Barely put a dent in this coffee. I need to speed up my work. Cup is just dripping all over me though. I do feel like I look a little tanner, only slightly. I'm usually a very pale person, so tan for me is probably somebody else's like rest of the year type tone. I used to tan so well when I was younger, but I also was like always outside when I was younger. I was fortunate enough to like always have a pool growing up. Like I mentioned, I live in southern US, so it's pretty common to have a pool here. And I was like a little fish when I was younger. Always in the water, loved swimming. And I would always be so tan. I feel like that's my favorite way to tan. I don't like just like standing outside. Or like sitting outside. It gets too hot. But I do like to swim. And part of me feels like you get a better tan whenever you are in water. But maybe I'm just making that up. But I feel like the reflection. Northern man, you spent awesome at the lake. Nice tan. Yeah. It's nice when it's just like a part of your lifestyle. You don't even have to think about it. You're just always tan. Go to the beach on the weekend. I wish I lived close to a beach. We have a lot of lakes, but a lot of the times, like, if I'm going to go get like, spend a lot of time outside, I don't go to the lake too much anymore. We used to go when I was younger. But these days, if I'm gonna, like, spend a ton of time outside in the sun and, like, near water, the way we like to do it is we go float the river. I don't know if anybody else, like, have you ever gone floating, Flurry? It's pretty fun. It's like a very common thing to do around here. Like 60 to 80 miles from the beach. That sounds so nice. I feel like it'd be nice to live in Florida. I've only visited a couple of times, but like, is it super humid? I feel like, I know Georgia's really humid, and I always assume Florida is also very humid. But I'm not actually certain. I feel like I never go in the summer. I usually would go to Florida like for spring break type springtime. Very humid. I don't like humid. I'm sure you'd get used to it, but I feel like where I'm from, like, or where I live, it's more of like a dry heat than it is a humid heat. And usually the days, like, right after it rains and I'm stuck outside are the most miserable when it's humid. But I feel like everybody gets used to... They get used to wherever they're from, wherever they live. But yeah, we like to go floating on the river. And basically you go, and there's, like, a whole road of areas where you can go and rent either rafts or kayaks, and everybody goes and they get like a group of people, and you'll get like a raft and you'll plan to do like 9 miles, and you just float down the river, and you have paddles, and half the time people aren't even paddling, they're just floating along. People bring speakers. There's always like a lot of other people out there, and sometimes, especially like holiday weekends like 4th of July, people will all start to like congregate in one big giant like raft. I can't say party, it's not really a party, but just like everybody kind of pulls their rafts together. And that's my typical summer like outdoor activity in the sun and around water these days. But it used to be a lot more of the lake, not so much anymore. I think we're going to go ahead and cap these off on the end, and then kind of figure out where we go from here. So I'm thinking we're going to have archways here, here, and then back here as well. Oh, speaking of Florida humidity, while I'm thinking about it, I should have known the answer to my question, because I like to watch the show Dexter, and I just rewatched it recently, and that's like obviously Miami. And the amount of times that they just like pull back and the shirt is just like all sweaty, I'm like, I should have known that it was a humid state. I just wasn't even thinking about it. I figured, I knew Georgia was, but I haven't been to, I think maybe one time I went to Florida in the summer, but I was really young. Drive safe, G. Thanks for stopping by. See you on Friday. Yeah, glad you could be here. Okay, since I don't have too much of a plan, I'm gonna do what I typically do and use signs. So we're gonna need like a little smelter area, brewing area. We're gonna need storage. We're gonna need like I'm gonna call it a kitchen. It's basically just gonna be where I store all my food, but I want it to look like a kitchen. We'll need a place to store ores, which I think will be like separate from the regular storage room. We need a redstone area. And what else is on my list? Transportation, food, ores, redstone, animal goods. Animal goods? I could like use a different... I could like bring in a mob to kind of represent. We could have like a little animal area, like put all our cats somewhere. Maybe we do that, because I don't have anywhere to put my cats. Cat, zone. We're gonna call it that. Cat tree. That'd be kind of fun. A giant cat tree. What else would do well in this area? I'm gonna go ahead and open this up on this side too. We can make sure that we have an opening on both sides. I think this is lined up. Yeah. We got cave back here. I feel like I just heard a slime flop. Probably did. We've got that. And how are we pulling this back? So 2 from the column. That should be good. Okay, so put a stair here. And then on this side. Close all this in. So, I think I like having this all open, but I feel like I need a more like interesting way to separate everything out. Like I can almost see like little balconies of space popping out, if that makes sense. Or having like multi-tiered access points. We obviously don't want it to be like super we don't want to make you have to go out of your way too much to get to the different spaces. But I think it would be fun to say like for some reason I'm imagining like a balcony up here with like a storage area, and then maybe like stairs go down here, and you've got smelting over here, and then like below this balcony you've got something else. But I'm like questioning if I'm trying to make them look like more storage area, like more storefront areas, like part of a city, or if we want it to look like walkways and elevated platforms. Kind of feel like I need to do a little bit of like brainstorming. Pickaxe slow? Yeah, I got an eye on it. It'll be okay. I could do like a, what's the word? What do we call it? I can't remember the name for it. But basically like, say we do like this, and we have like this little section behind a ton of columns and archways that's open. That's not a very good representation of it, but I need the actual name for it. What's it called? They do a lot of them in like courtyards in Italy, I can think of specifically. I don't know why I can't think of the word for it though. Wait, where are our signs? Signs this way. So smelter, brewing, storage, kitchen, ores, redstone, cat tree. That's very random, but I think that'll be fun. And then what else? Mob drops and transportation. Probably like transportation. I can see that having its own little section. But mob drops will probably just stick with storage. I'm debating if like we do storefronts back here now. But I don't. This is me brainstorming. So I think most of the time I'm going to come in from this direction, and I can see it being like a turn in here and do some form of storage at the back. XP farm, we are all good on XP farms. We've got an XP farm in a different area, and if we do another one in the future, it's probably going to be in the Nether or at an ocean monument. But a lot of my XP I get from, what's it called? I get from villager trades. How late do I plan to stream for? I usually aim for about 2 hours, which we're getting close to the 2-hour mark. And I definitely think we're going to be continuing this more on Friday. Not Friday, then next Monday, depending on what we decide to do for Friday's stream. But yeah, I do have to call it pretty soon here. I got some stuff I got to take care of after this. And I feel like I do need to do some brainstorming and like researching on like kind of what I have in mind. Inspiration. Let me see. Let me do a quick little search. I almost am thinking of like a courtyard. But this is definitely not a courtyard because we're underground. But I'm trying to think of ways that I can emulate that type of style. Oh, I think I'm thinking of, is it a palisade? Is that the word? No, I'm literally just thinking of a car. Not a palisade. Colonnade? Kind of a colonnade, but not really. But I can almost see like different balconies. I've said this word so many times. For some reason, I just can't think of it. Be able to join the Friday stream too. Sweet. I'll be glad to have you here. Away on business, have lots of time. That's fun. Get to relax and enjoy some personal time. I feel like that's probably something you start to really value once you get to that point in life. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do some planning because I'm really at a loss for ideas right now other than like spaces. So what I was thinking of doing was having more of just like this open space that you can move around and go from like an area for the furnaces towards an area for the brewing. But as I'm seeing this open, I really like it a lot more than I thought I would. And I kind of want to keep it open like this, but it's giving me different ideas as far as how to treat this space, because yeah, like I had a completely different thought process in mind before opening this up, and now I'm like reconsidering all of that. So I think I need to do some planning, need to do a little homework, get an idea of where we want to go with this. And I think I'll try to have more of a plan laid out, and maybe even like a little bit of it in place potentially, or just have more inspiration for it for the next stream. But we'll definitely save the rest of this for our next stream, which will most likely be Friday. We should be good to go on Friday. I'm still debating if I will be streaming next Friday or not, which is 4th of July. I most likely will not be, but I will let you all know if that changes. So I think next week will probably be like a 2-stream week. And we'll get to spend some time with family, spend some time outside. Probably out in the water per usual. And I think that, yeah, I won't be able to join for the 4th. I figure that's probably gonna be the case for a handful of people. Because yeah, where I'm at, best time to swim is like right when stream starts. The sun is actually in the right spot, like right around 2 p.m. and then after like 4 or 5 p.m. it's just blocked by trees. And I think later in the day probably be more fireworks stuff. So I need to talk to like my family and see when they're coming over and everything. But I'm right now I'm not planning to stream next Friday. That'll probably be a no stream day. So we should be good this Friday to stream, and the next Monday and Wednesday. But 4th of July, I do not think that I will be live. Yeah, I love getting in the pool right around 1 to 2 p.m. because that's when it's the hottest and it feels the best. And I just love taking a little float every day. But I do think that's gonna do it. Need to do a little planning, need to do a little brainstorming, get an idea of like what is inspiring me, because really right now I don't have any inspiration for what I want to do, but I have some ideas. I just got to figure out how I can make them work with the purpose of the space and like what I need the function to be. So we're gonna end stream there. I appreciate you all so much for hanging out and chatting with me, and I really appreciate you all for supporting on Twitch today. Y'all are really coming through on Twitch. We may be closer to channel points than I thought. So yeah, y'all have a great rest of your evening or day for those of you in other time zones, and I will see you all on Friday. Yes, we'll have a little bit more of an idea. I definitely didn't think it was going to take me this long to mine all of this out. But I enjoyed getting just like mine and chat. It's definitely nice to have something that I don't have to think too hard about while we're all chatting and having a good conversation. So yeah, channel points for the win. I can't wait. It'll be so nice, but I really do appreciate all the support. And I will see you all on Friday when I have way nicer eyelashes. These are so bad. It's been a bad 2 weeks. All my eyelashes are shedding. It happens though. I'll see you all Friday though.